Welcome to Pitch It, where I don't say that this needs to... Is my door open? Where I don't say that this necessarily needs to happen. It would just be what I would do if I was put in this position. And today, I'm in the position of fantasy booker. Ooh, if you don't know WWE, you probably wouldn't click on this video, so I don't know what you're doing here. But thank you for clicking on the video, even if you don't. Gonna have to move along. I got class, brother. Today, the plan is for me to fantasy book WWE within the next coming months. We're gonna start with skimming through the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and then WrestleMania Hollywood, number 39. Very excited for that. Also, if you couldn't tell, I'm repping the merch. Just to reiterate, this isn't a do this or I will stop watching. This is a, if it were up to me, this is what I would do. I'm pretty much happy with anything Triple H has got going on right now. I'm filming this on Tuesday, the 24th of January, 2023. And the reason why that's important is because last night was Raw is XXX. And that was an amazing show. A lot of stuff changed, and the only reason I'm saying that is because I haven't seen the SmackDown before Royal Rumble, so these pitches / predictions will probably change and not be true down the line. However, this is what I would do if I were in the booker position. Also, a very important constant theme throughout this video, it's mainly about what I'm calling the downfall of the Bloodline. I acknowledge Mr. Tribal Chief himself. I acknowledge the Usos solo, Mr. Honorary Us himself, but I'm just calling it like I see it. I also wanted to mention before we jump into it, is I'm gonna handle the big stories and then some of the smaller stories of the stuff that is like, this would be cool. But for time's sake and for your sake, I'm just gonna mention them and just keep going. Let's start with the Royal Rumble, my favorite pay-per-view. So, I'm going to start with Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. Now, I acknowledge you, my tribal chief, but that is Wakanda forever. I acknowledge the tribal chief, however, I think tonight we're going to get some crazy goings-ons. For example, Roman versus Kevin Owens is not a new thing. There was a great feud way back in the early days of Roman Reigns' reign as the tribal chief, and tonight I think Roman's gonna win. Of course he's gonna win, but I think Sami Zayn's gonna get involved in some way. I think Sami Zayn has to help Roman Reigns out because he's part of the Bloodline, but because of last night's trial of Sami Zayn, it seems like Roman Reigns and maybe Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman are the only ones that don't like Sami Zayn anymore. So I'm pitching that Sami Zayn gets involved in the match a little bit. Maybe he helps out Roman in a way that Roman's offended by. Do you think I needed your help? What the heck? So I have here, Sami saves Roman, but not enough for Roman to care. This is setting up something that I'll talk about later. Oh, and we also tease that Roman is done with Sami throughout the show. Sort of. Okay, let's go to the Women's Royal Rumble. I'm just gonna say it. I don't really know who's gonna come back. I don't really have any surprise predictions, but I know who should win. Rhea freaking Ripley. And I'm just gonna mention it here, and then I'm gonna mention it and when we get to WrestleMania. Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship. That's my pitch for that. But let's get to the Men's Royal Rumble, where I do have some predictions and such. Okay. The Rock is everybody's favorite to return. Honestly, I think he is. But for the sake of this pitch, I'm not going to pitch with The Rock involved. If you want to know what my pitch is, it's going to be later in the WrestleMania section for The Rock and the Bloodline. But for now, I'm just going to stick with the idea that The Rock returns, but it's not connected to anything later, or something like that. The point is, I'm sticking with what I've got right now, regardless of The Rock. Cody Rhodes has got to come in at number 1. I think everybody would be excited to see him. Or at least number 2. So this was an interesting one. Brock Lesnar enters the Royal Rumble. That would be awesome. Bobby Lashley and him have to have a spat in the Royal Rumble, to the point where one of them eliminates the other and sets something up for later, which they've already set up pretty well. So this isn't like a crazy prediction. I feel like Edge has got to be in there. Okay, I have 2 returning wrestlers that I adore and would love to see come back. I don't know if they will, but I'd love to see Randy Orton. That's a long shot. but also Robert Roode. I love Bobby, the glorious one, Roode. And then, number 30. 3, 2, 1. Sami Zayn enters the Royal Rumble. Throughout a night where he has been spat on by Roman Reigns, ridiculed, made fun of, Sami Zayn enters the Royal Rumble and wins. Sami Zayn, Royal Rumble winner, number 2023. If The Rock were involved, I think The Rock could win this too. And I could totally see Roman versus Rock because I feel like WWE would really want that. But for my pitch, again, Sami Zayn wins. The SmackDowns and the stuff after the Royal Rumble, Sami Zayn has had this weird relationship with Roman Reigns because at the beginning, Roman Reigns was like the king and Sami Zayn was like the jester / rat for Roman Reigns. And then as time goes on, he becomes more of a vital member, a team player. My goodness, watching Survivor Series this year, or last year. Ooh, my goodness, immaculate. However, this time, after the Royal Rumble, Roman and Sami's like slowly becoming equal to Roman Reigns, which is making Roman Reigns bugged. The Usos are like, there's no worry about it. Sami's just getting the credit he deserves. He won't challenge you. He won't do anything wrong. Well, that's where you're wrong. Because Sami, still abused and ridiculed by Roman Reigns, says that he won't turn on him. However, Roman doesn't believe that. Because then, at Elimination Chamber, Elimination Chamber section, Roman turns on Sami Zayn. And Sami says, that's it. I'll see you at WrestleMania. Either at Elimination Chamber or before. Because at Elimination Chamber, I've got a wrench to throw in to the mix. For the men's Elimination Chamber, I'm having some contestants. Here, just hear me out. Continuing his feud with Roman Reigns, you have Kevin Owens. Along in there for protection, because Kevin Owens can't win. Roman Reigns says, Solo, get in there, I trust you. You have Seth Rollins, who also at this time period after Royal Rumble and through SmackDowns and Raws and so on and so forth, has a bit of a spat and a feud with Roman Reigns. But we're not going to focus on that too much because as well as Seth Rollins, we've got Cody Rhodes. Ooh, the American Nightmare. And then two more to throw in there who have definitely had their fair share of spats with Roman Reigns in the past. Again, this is going to be kind of a victory lap of Roman Reigns' reign over WWE for so long. Edge and Brock Lesnar. They all fight because they all have a vendetta against Roman Reigns, except Solo Sikoa. He has Roman Reigns' interest at heart. But guess who wins the whole gosh darn thing? That's right, Kevin Owens. Now, we've seen Roman and Kevin's wrestle a lot. Why is this important? Because with Sami Zayn as a third, we've got some interesting dynamics for WrestleMania Goes to Hollywood. All right, let's get to it. We're finally here. WrestleMania 39. This is the whole match card, not separated by days. You can figure that out. The Bloodline going down. And it starts with what I think the main events should be on night 1 and night 2. SmackDowns leading up to WrestleMania from Elimination Chamber has had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn feuding the whole time. Kevin can't forgive Sami for what he's done. Roman Reigns can't trust either of them. He's going crazy, mad with power. The Usos are still like, Sami Zayn's a great guy. Honestly, and again, this is where the breaking up starts to happen. So what do? Well, this is my pitch. Night 1, Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title. And Roman wins. He's still the big dog. He's still the tribal chief. How dare you think this? Maybe Kevin's going to be attacked by Solo Sikoa, but Sami Zayn comes to his defense, says, no, I'll save you, Kevin. WrestleMania will be the 2 nights where Sami and Kevin find that mutual respect again. I still think we can have a little bit of a feud afterwards to set it up, because I don't want to completely tie it off just at WrestleMania. If anything, I just want to tease that there will be more to come and more to see with these best friends. Because on night 2, Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn for the WWE title. Now, honestly, the championships can switch. I'm kind of fine with either. But Sami Zayn has to win. WWE Sami Zayn is hot right now. People are screaming his name when he walks into the arena. This is the perfect time to make Sami Zayn the champion. And I think he has to be the champion no matter what. He doesn't have to have the title for super long. The world title can start being played with on Raw and SmackDown or whatever. There's just so much there, and I think Roman Reigns still needs to keep one of them, because I think it'd be more interesting to see a continuing downfall after WrestleMania. So yes, Sami Zayn is the championship, and then after WrestleMania, when it comes to Roman Reigns, we get a bunch of mini feuds. I think with Karrion Kross might be interesting, but Solo Sikoa might come between it. I think Solo's going to be the person that I throw in there to save whoever the other person is, to be like, oh, they could have won, but it's because of Solo. Drew McIntyre is a possibility. Personally, I'd love to see a Shinsuke versus Roman feud, but I think the person that needs to take the title from Roman Reigns is Cody Rhodes, and that'll be at like SummerSlam or something. But that's way into the future. Right now, I'm only trying to pitch up to WrestleMania. So yes, Sami Zayn with the championship. Now, side note, there's 2 very different alterations to this. Instead of Kevin Owens versus Roman on night 1, you can have The Rock versus Roman Reigns on night 1, and then Sami Zayn on night 2. I just think Sami needs that title. The second option is it's a fatal it's a 3-way tag team. No, what am I talking about? Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, winner takes all. Again, there's a lot that you can do there. All I'm thinking is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in the title picture. Sami Zayn wins something. But Roman Reigns isn't the only person in the Bloodline. So are the Usos. The Usiest of Usos. Wow, I've got to speed this up. I've got to get to class. What do I think for the Usos? Well, there's a lot that you could do, a lot of feuds. Of course, I'd want them very involved in the Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens feud. But this is where this idea came in. The Usos are just as big and important as Roman Reigns is. It's just that Roman Reigns is uber hot right now. So why not the Usos having 2 matches on 2 nights? Night 1, the Usos versus the Banger Bros. That was not anywhere. For the SmackDown Tag Team titles, Usos retain. Night 2, the Usos versus a specific tag team that's also getting kind of hot right now, specifically one of their members who's doing the worm in the ring. That's right, the Alpha Academy. And the Alpha Academy wins. From this point on, I would hope that the Alpha Academy, from Royal Rumble to whenever, sort of becomes ambiguous faces. They can be mean, they can be judgmental. Maybe Chad's the mean one and Otis is like, no. But there's a lot that you can do there, and I think they're hot stuff right now. I think we need to strike while the iron is hot. And also, a very awesome member of the team, Solo Sikoa. There's a lot that you could do with Solo Sikoa, and this is kind of where the variations get kind of different. If The Rock is involved, maybe Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa. I was thinking Drew McIntyre versus Solo Sikoa, but he'd be a part of the Banger Bros. There's a lot that you can do, a lot of fun stuff. Point is, those are my ideas. Oh, I just realized, maybe the Brawling Brutes versus the Usos on night 1 for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Usos win. Because you could do Drew McIntyre versus Solo Sikoa, and Drew McIntyre wins. And this would be a huge deal, because this is the first time Solo has lost to pinfall. But the reason why that's exciting is because we need this match. Sheamus versus Gunther for the Intercontinental title. What's the stipulation I have? Falls count anywhere. Run it back. It's a great match. I'd love to see more of it. I think WrestleMania and the lead up to WrestleMania is the perfect place for that to be. I mentioned it with Royal Rumble, Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship, and I think, again, strike where the iron is hot. Rhea Ripley wins. She'd be the fixture of the Judgment Day. Whereas you have Tribal Chief and the Bloodline, you have Rhea Ripley and the Judgment Day. Speaking of which, Judgment Day ideas. There's a few things that you could do, but you could do Finn Balor versus AJ Styles. Need to do this match, Dominik Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio. This is what I'm going to be doing when that match happens. Oh yeah. So those are just some ideas. Let's keep going with the titles. For the SmackDown Championship, and this would be the winner of the Elimination Chamber match, Raquel Rodriguez versus Asuka versus Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's title. What's kind of funny is I really would like any of these people to win. I think they would all be great. Okay, again, this is where just the fun fantasy booking aspect comes into it. A fatal four-way with Austin Theory versus Damien Priest. We have him doing something. If we do Dominik versus Rey and then Finn versus AJ. Akira Tozawa and then Baron Corbin for the United States Championship in a ladder match. That'd be fun. Okay, now I'm just gonna kind of throw some out there. Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Cross. They both have really good gimmicks right now, and I'd love to see them both collide because they used to be my favorite women's tag team. But then they kind of just ended, and then it never really went anywhere, and then they teased they were gonna wrestle at one point, and I think they did. But that also didn't really go anywhere. So I think doing a mini feud between these two, maybe they combine to become a tag team. That'd be really fun. Tommaso Ciampa returns and has a feud with Johnny Gargano. I don't watch NXT, but I'm kind of going for that audience with this one. For the Battle Royales, I love these. You just get to see a bunch of people that need to be utilized more, and one of them or a few of them are put on a pedestal for everyone to love and enjoy. For example, Andre the Giant. I have a few picks. Shinsuke Nakamura, LA Knight, Dexter Lumis, Mustafa Ali. But we would include some of the returning people that I adore and love. Rick Boogs. That would be cool. Robert Roode, I mentioned before. R-Truth. Good ideas. All of them can win it, and I love it. For the Women's Battle Royale, it's a shorter list. Candice LeRae can win it. Doudrop can win it. I would return her as a face. Shayna Baszler. That would be awesome. Lacey Evans. All fun stuff. A while ago, I remember last year they did Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey because WWE wanted to do Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey here. I don't think you need a title for that. No holds barred match between the two, I think would soar. Okay, we're getting to the bottom. I'm gonna pitch these next two, and then the next two are way more open-ended, and they're just kind of fun to think about. The rumor mill says that it's John Cena versus Austin Theory. That would be spectacular. But as this is my pitch and I don't want to cheat, I'm just going to say that Austin Theory is going to be doing that awesome Fatal 4-Way ladder match. So what do we do here? Who's going to face John Cena? My pick, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena at WrestleMania. The reason why I would do that is because it would be a legendary match, as well as a match that Cody Rhodes doesn't need to continue with a feud or anything like that afterwards, because then he can go in for Roman Reigns. Speaking of Hall of Famers, Edge is ending his career at WrestleMania 39, potentially. Who will face Edge? There is a lot of possibilities here. For this one in particular, it feels less of like a WWE thing and more of an Edge thing, so I'm opening it up to any wrestlers, particularly with people who used to have a feud with him. My crazy pick with Jeff Hardy versus Edge. That's a crazy one. I'm not going to count on it. I'm not hoping for it. It would be cool to see, but that's just an idea. My two other ideas, which kind of implodes the previous match, is either versus John Cena or Cody Rhodes. I don't know. There's a lot of ways Edge can retire at WrestleMania, and I don't think there's a bad way to do it. So, honestly, throw it in the comments. I really have no opinion. I do, but it'd be interesting to know what you think. Okay, let's just finish it off with a few ones. Uncle Howdy versus Bray Wyatt? I don't know where this is going. I'm just excited to see. Hit Row versus Viking Raiders versus Los Lotharios versus the OC versus the Street Profits. And then to finish it off, I can't currently think of another women's tag team in WWE. Like at all. Which is crazy. Dakota Kai and Io Sky, Damage Control. And who else? You could get somebody from NXT, but for this WrestleMania, I'm just gonna Kobe it Iconics. You could reunite Shotzi and Tegan. Shut up, computer. Okay, well, I think that's it. I think that's everything that I wanted to pitch. Also, there's another guy that I really like on YouTube who pitches some really awesome ideas for future WWE stuff. So I'm going to link him down below just because he's really cool. Anyways, that's it. That's all. I'm late for class. I had a lot of fun. I like just theorizing what could be in WWE. And what's fun is I am completely open for this whole thing to be shattered on Friday for SmackDown or Saturday for Royal Rumble. That's what's so fun about WWE. It's the adult version of mashing your toys together. And sometimes it clicks, sometimes it doesn't. Hopefully what I said clicks with you. That's why it was kind of difficult to call this video like a pitch it. It's a fantasy booking kind of thing. This is what I'd hope for. But hey, I had fun. 3 things to remember. 1, thank you WWE for being worldwide wrestling entertainment for all. Number 2, this is just a video of my ideas. I'd love to hear your ideas in the comments down below. And number 3, Sami Zayn for president. Thanks, that's all. And I'll see you in the next one. John Cena.